there, and welcome to vinyl video number 52. This is episode 52 of albums and artists that I love and inspire me, and being as this is episode 52, it means it's our first anniversary. I've been doing this a year, and I've now shown, after this record, 1,040 albums. So let's get to it. This is album number 1. This is Eddie Angel's Guitar Party. Eddie Angel, of course, is the guitar player in the Planet Rockers and Lost Straitjackets, who are currently backing Nick Lowe. And this is Eddie's guitar instrumental album. If you like Link Ray-esque stuff, this is absolute knockout, thunder, caveman, Itchy Chicken, which is a take on Run Chicken Run by Link Ray. Brawl, Casbah, Jurassic Beat, which is quite like Link Ray's Dinosaur. It's just a really cool guitar instrumental album by Eddie Angel. Up next, this is a cool compilation. This is the London R&B sessions. There's a Hope and Anchor pub on the front, great pub rock on this. Lou Lewis Reformer is on this. The Boogie Boys, of course, Red Beans and Rice, Tommy Riley's band. Wilco Johnson and the Solid Senders. The Pirates, just fantastic stuff. Madison Blues with the Boogie Boys, Finger in My Eye, Red Beans and Rice, Wilco Johnson and the Solid Senders doing the Whammy. Pirates doing Tear It Up. Red Beans and Rice doing Pack It Up, Buttercup, of course, the Blues Band doing Sun House's Death Letter. Pirates doing it all in it together, and it's a long cut and it should be played loud. The London R&B series, that's a must for your fans of your pub rock, etc. Now here's Johnny Cash. This is on the Sun label, and it features Cry, 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 Oh Lonesome Me, Hey Porter, Home of the Blues. It's in lovely condition, and it is signed as well by the one and only Johnny Cash. So it's one of my coolest items in the collection, really. And it features Luther, of course, on this, with the wonderful guitar playing of Luther Perkins. And it's just nice to see a Sun album in nice nick in the UK. And the signature, of course, which makes it cool memorabilia. This is Mad Shadows by Mott the Hoople. This is an earlier album by Mott. Of course, Ian Hunter's still on it. Mick Ralph's all round Watts. Vernon Allen Duffin. But there's some good stuff on here. No Wheels to Ride. I Can Feel. My personal favourite is... You Are One of Us, Thunderstruck Ram. Just a good early Mott the Hoople album, pre All the Young Dudes, which I still think is a brilliant song. And it's always nice to show a bit of Mott on the vinyl albums series. Oh yes, here comes the Neil Young one. We do a Neil Young one every week. This is Neil Young and Crazy Horse with Americana. This is Neil Young doing all the American classics. Oh Susanna, Clementine, Gallows, Pole is on this. This Land Is Your Land, Wayfaring Stranger. I really like this album. I love Crazy Horse when they back Neil Young, and my personal favourite on this is Clementine as well. Tom Dooley's on this. This is a really good album. That's Americana by Neil Young. Includes a lyric book too. The Rolling Stones. They are Saint Majesty's Request. Love the cover with the 3D thing, trying to do a sort of a Sgt. Pepper's thing, 2,000 Light Years from Home, She's a Rainbow, In Another Land. It's just a psychedelic Stones album, as I say, you know, they're trying to do Sgt. Pepper. It's not as good as Sgt. Pepper, but it's still a decent album. But it's worth showing just for that 3D cover, which I mean is fantastic. I mean, who had a 3D cover like that in 1967? Nobody, I don't think. And I mean, I can imagine people having a joint or a tab of LSD, looking at that, and they freak them right out. So that's the Stones. More 67 stuff. This is Cream with Disraeli Gears. Probably my favourite Cream album. It's got Strange Brew on it and Blue Condition. World of Pain. This is Cream, you know, when they're at top of their game. This can't be signed by Jack Bruce, when I've seen him in Cardiff for the memorabilia collectors, and that's Disraeli Gears by Cream, another iconic cover. You know, vinyl, you get the great music, you can read the information on the back, and you get the art. Some real cool blues, yeah. This is Robert Pete Williams. Of course, Captain Beefheart done the Robert Pete Williams song Grown So Ugly on his album Save As Milk, and Freight Train Blues is on this, Matchbox Blues, Railroad Blues. Sweep My Floor. It's just a really good album. I love Robert Pete Williams. There he is on the front with his Harmony Sovereign. I've listened to him on YouTube before, and it's definitely worth checking out. Sonny Terry's solo album, The Sonny Terry Story. Of course, Sonny Terry's famous for playing with Brownie McGee. And Brownie McGee is not on this album, believe it or not. I Ain't Gonna Be Your Dog No More. Worried Blues, High Powered Woman, Sonny Story, 4 O'Clock Blues, Telephone Blues, The Great Tall Engine. Wonderful harmonica player, Sonny Terry. Love his stuff with Brownie McGee. I think him and Brownie McGee didn't get on, but what a blues partnership they were. And that's a Sonny Terry story. Up next, this is the best of Waylon Jennings, the one and only Waylon Jennings. This is worth the price of admission for the only daddy that will walk the line. He does Chuck's Brown Eyed Handsome Man on this as well. MacArthur Park, Delia's Gone. I Got You with Anita Carter is on this. It's just I'm a really big fan of Waylon. My favourite Waylon song is Waymore's Blues, of course, followed by Only Daddy That Will Walk the Line. This is the 12-string story, compilation of 12-string guitar players. Mason Williams is on this with Hoot Blues. Of course, he's famous for doing classical gas. The wonderful Joe Mathis, who we've talked about before, is doing Maggie. Glenn Campbell's on here doing Red Wing. Jim Helms doing Careless Love. So, there's some big names on this playing their 12-string guitar. And it's just really cool to hear if you're into guitar playing, 12-string guitar. Up next, the one and only Lloyd Green, the Cool Steel Man, one of the best pedal steel players of all time. Cool Steel, Halfway to Paradise, the famous country song Crazy Arms, which I recently uploaded to my channel. Petals is on this. Bar Hopping, which is my personal favourite. And yeah, so that's Lloyd Green. I only wish I could do as much to help Lloyd with this record as he's done to help me with mine, Lynn Anderson. So there we are, Lloyd Green. Bit of fiddle playing. This is the Texas Fiddle Collection of the great Johnny Gimble, one of the best fiddle players of all time in that style. Black and White Rag, Silver Bell, Goodnight Waltz, Fat Boy Rag, of course, which is a Bob Wills tune. Ragtime Annie's on this. Alabama Jubilee, you've all heard Jerry Reed do that. Beaumont Rag is on this. It's just a collection of country fiddle playing, really, by Johnny Gimble. If you're into your country fiddle playing, this is like a must-have record, really. A must-have compilation for the turntable. Bit of Kinks. This is Kinda Kinks. Some good stuff on this. Nagging Woman, Tired of Waiting So Long. Look for Me Baby, Got My Feet on the Ground. Ray and Dave Davis, of course, the Kinks. This is the Kinda Kinks on that lovely Pie label too. Bit of Jimmy Reed here on the Charlie R&B label. We love Jimmy Reed, of course. Shame, Shame, Shame. Down the Road, Bright Lights, Big City, Big Boss Man, All Shucks, Hush Your Mouth. One of my favourite Jimmy Reeds. Going to New York, Baby What You Want Me to Do. There he is on the front with his K Fin twin guitar. And that's Jimmy Reed. This is Dylan and the Band. It was Before the Flood. Some cracking stuff on this. Lay Lady Lay, Rainy Day Woman, Uncle Emma's Door, Ballad of Thin Man, Up on Cripple Creek. The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, of course, Don't Think Twice, It's Alright. The Wait, All Along the Watchtower, Highway 61 Revisited, Blowing in the Wind Like a Rolling Stone. All these amazing songs on one record. What else can you say about it? Dylan and the Band. This is one of my favourite records of all time. This is the Hollywood Fats Band. Amazing jump blues stuff. Of course, Hollywood Fats on guitar, Larry the Moe Taylor on bass, Al Blake on vocals, Richard Innes on drums, and Fred Kaplan on piano. Rock This House, She's Dynamite, Okie Dokie Stomp, Suitcase Blues, Caledonia, Poor Boy, Have a Good Time. What a great record by the one and only Hollywood Fats Band. This is the only record they made, really. There's some poor quality live bootlegs, but this is the one you want. This isn't the coloured vinyl one, it's just the black vinyl one, but it's one of my favourites. This is the Duane Allman anthology, of course, Duane Allman from the Allman Brothers. There's some cool stuff he played on. Some of his solo, he played on The Wait by King Curtis, It Ain't Fair, Aretha Franklin, Matchbox by Ronnie Hawkins, he's doing Chuck Berry's No Money Down, he's on Waiting for the Train by Boss Skaggs, there's a really good version of John Lee Hooker's Dimples on this, by the Allman Brothers, Midnight Rider is on this, he's on here with Wilson Pickett doing Born to Be Wild, I should say. And yes, that's the Capricorn collection. This is volume 2. I've also got volume 1. And there's also a Greg Allman one as well in that series. This is Elmo James collection. Just a cheap compilation, but definitely worth showing. Dust My Broom, I Believe, Hand in Hand. Strange Kind of Feeling. Stand at the Crossroads early in the morning, Rolling and Tumbling. I mean, one of my all-time favourites, Elmo James. I've shown so much of his stuff. He didn't cut an album, it was all 45s. And it's like we got all these compilations. And last but not least, this is C60, A Man from Another Time. Diddley Bow is on this, Big Green and Yellow, which of course is about his tractor. A John Deere tractor. The banjo song, My Home, Seasick Boogie. I'm a big fan, I think he's really good. I think C6 Steve is really good, and I think, all his stuff is definitely worth exploring. It's really interesting. And I like this album, and I bought this when I seen him in Cardiff years ago. So that's C6 Steve. So there we have it. There's another 52 records. 52 records. There's another 22 records. Episode 52. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all again next week for episode 53. I appreciate it. Cheers.